بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد النبي والآل والصحب أجمعين. السلام عليكم يا أيها الطلاب. Yesterday we are starting with a brand new course, Read Arabic. And in this course we will be looking at reading the Arabic script, whether it's from the Qur'an or whether it's from any Arabic book. In other words, the standard Arabic or the modern standard Arabic, which is called MSA, or as I said, the Mushafs we use. Mostly we're looking at the Madani Mushaf, which is used in Saudi Arabia and the Arab world, as well as across the world. And the IndoPak Mushaf, which is used in India, Pakistan, and Malaysia, South Africa, and many other countries. So who is this course for? This course is intended for anyone, irrespective of age, young and old, irrespective of religion, who wants to learn to read Arabic. But because it's also intended for those who want to read the Quran, that is very much incorporated in the course. Let's start. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So the course is designed by myself, Idris Kamish, principal of Madrasa At-Tayyibah, School of Arabic and Quran Studies. And this course is titled Nidam Salim bin Naim Nahwa Qiraat al-Quran al-Kareem, a simplified method towards reading the Noble Quran. Lesson 1. So in this lesson, we're just looking at the two sounds, letters and sounds, the A and the B. Let's move on. Lesson 1. We're looking at two letters and the short vowel sounds. So first up, A, the new letters are number 1, A, and 2, B. Say it again, A and B. Right, let's see if you can read it. Number 1 is A, that's correct, and 2 is B. Similar to English alphabet, A, B. So we're starting with A and B. Right. So again, A and B. Right. Now let's look immediately at how these letters are written. So at this point in time, you need to have a piece of paper and a pen and write with me. So I'm writing first the A. Have a look at it. We're starting with the A. It's a downward stroke followed by a diagonal stroke on top. Again, downward stroke and diagonal stroke on top. Then we're looking at the B. Remember, we write from right to left. First the boat shape and then the dot at the bottom. Right? So that's the B. Let's move on. So here we have the short sound or phonic, which is ab. I've got it 3 times. So number 1, ab, 2, ab, 3, ab. Right, now let's look at the notes. First again, as we said, the short stroke above the letter, that's at fatha, that represents the A sound. This is called the fatha, and it's equivalent to a vowel in English. English, we have the vowels A, E, I, O, U, or A, E, U, and so on. In Arabic, there's only 3 vowels, right? A is one of them. Thirdly, the A is pronounced like in English words in bat, hat, sun, and so on. Okay. Now we're looking at C, the short I sound. short E sound. And this is another phonic, and it's again written 3 times. So let's read number 1, ib, 2, ib, 3, ib. Right. So here we see the short stroke below the letter, and that represents the E sound. This is called kasra, and it's similar to English, the E sound in it, in, il, etc. Okay, let's move on. D, we are now looking at the U sound, and once again we have the word or phonic 3 times. Number 1, ub, 2, ub, 3, ub. Okay, so here we see a short curled stroke above the hamza there, and that is the U sound, and this is called dhamma, dhamma. Now the dhamma, fatha and kasra are the 3 short vowels in Arabic, and it's similar to the vowels in English, as we said, a, e, I, o, u, to which we should add the y, like in happy, is actually also a vowel in English. So number 3, these diacritical marks, we call this a, e, u diacritical marks because they're not letters in Arabic. In English, they are part of the alphabet letters, but in Arabic, they are not part of the alphabet letters. They are additional strokes and a curl. Number 4, we will look at the shape of this which is hamza. And hamza is also written, like the small little curl there you see, as well as the third shape there. So these shapes we will look at later, inshallah. All these are hamza. Now I know when we read Arabic, we say alif, ba, ta. And now I'm telling you it's hamza. Whenever the downward stroke has a short a, e, or u sound, or sometimes if it has no sound or a sukoon, then it is called hamza. The only time it is actually alif if it is a long a sound, but we will show this and explain later, inshallah. So now let's look at these 3 short phonic sounds. Number 1 is again ab, 2 ib, and 3 is ub. Let's write these letters now. So let's write ab. We start with a downward stroke and the fatha, and that gives us the ab, ab. Second one, again downward stroke and the b with the 1 dot at the bottom, and the stroke below the hamza, which gives it the e sound. Third one, again the hamza, the b, and the u sound. So that is how we will write these phonic sounds. Now E, we're looking at Surah Al-Fil, which is surah number 105 in Al-Qur'ãn. And here you will see it's S105-IP. The IP refers to the IndoPak Mushafs. So we're looking at this first. At a later stage, we will refer to the Madani Mushafs, so there will be slight differences. Right. So we firstly looking at the ah. So this is the hamza with the ah sound, and there we see it's there in alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka, and then in the second ayah is again alam, so the ah, first one ah, second one ah, and then the third one we see in the third ayah ah in arsala. Then the fourth one we see in also still in the third ayah ababil. So again. And now we're coming back to the first ayah. Here we see also but it's slightly different, isn't it? We'll explain this later. So that's also bi ashab. And here the last one is also the hamza, but it has a sukoon on. So it's not The precedes the hamza, so there's a mim there, so it's ma. So we'll come back to this inshallah. So that's basically the hamzas, and mostly with a sound. So let's look at the b. Now the b, like can have I, o, u. Alif, the hamza can be I, u. So b can also be ba, bi, bu. So firstly, we're looking at the b there with the I. So that's B. B. In Bismillah, B. Second one, we see there, Rabbuka. The second one is Bu. Rabbuka. You see there's a little something below the U, but we'll come back to that. Okay. Then we see again B. Bi ashab, B. So there's two B's there. Bi ashabi, bi ashab al-fil. And then we see number 5 and 6, ababil. Again, two bas. The one has a fatha, ba, but it's a long sound here, ba. And the second one has a kasra, so it's again a long e sound. But this we'll explain later, the long a and e sounds. Then we see bihijara, and that is in fact the last b we have in this short surah. Now you'll see the b is a letter with one dot at the bottom. If you look very closely, are there any other letters with one dot at the bottom? Yeah, we see another one there, and it appears also a few times, but that will come back at a later stage, inshallah. Shukran. So now it's quiz time. So we will be asking one or two questions. Hang in there. First one, what is this? What sound does that make? That's the ah. That's correct. Ah sound. And number 2, what sound does that make? That is, of course, the b. B. And as we said, the b can also get fatha, then it will be ba, bi, or bu when it has fatha, kasra, or dhamma. But we'll come back to that, don't worry. Let's look at these 3 phonics now. What is the first sound? Number 1. That is ab. Correct. Ab. Number 2, ib. And number 3 is ub. Very good, very good, very good. So let's just do that again. First one is ab. Number 2, ib. And number 3, ub. Right. Now let's look at number 1 again. And what do we see on that hamza? On the hamza there, what do we see there? That is, what sound does it give us? That gives us the ah sound. Very good. The ah sound. And that we call the fatha. Fatha. Number 2, we see there's a short stroke at the bottom of the hamza. And what sound does that make again? I. Very good. Excellent. And what do we call that? That we call the kasra. Kasra. And then number 3, we see the short curl on top of the hamza there. And that gives us what sound? The U. Now remember, these are the only 3 short sounds, vowel sounds in Arabic. A, I, U. Right? And what do we call the U? This we call the dhamma. Dhamma. Shukran jazilan. Remember, we will leave a link, and please share with friends and family, because there's a lot of people who might benefit from this, and even those who can read might learn a few extra things like the terminology, fatha, dhamma, kasra, and so on. And also, when we show the differences between the 2 mushafs, people who can already read, even Hafid Al-Qur'ãn, might learn a few things, In-Shã-Allah. Allahu alam. So now let's listen to the recital of Surah Al-Fil, and this is from the Madani Mushaf.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول.
So once again, thank you very much. Shukran jazilan to one and all. Walhamdulillah, and we'll see you soon with the next lesson, inshallah. Wassalam.